Incorporating these projects which would simulate some sort of industry kind of problem statements was a very difficult job, because all of our programs are being broken into smaller modules. Now we wanted to have projects after each and every module. So what we did, we took a bigger industry problem statement, broke that particular problem statement into smaller segment which would kind of relate to our modules. And then those problem statements are being created as a project after each and every module. So the learners, once they complete those individual projects, would be at the end would have been creating a bigger industry level project, which would be as good as deploying a Uber or an Ola or a Zomato or a bigger e-commerce application. At the end of it, we have a capstone project or a end of program curriculum project, where all the things that you have learned in the program would be used to build that bigger project. Again, that would be an industry simulation project. Now please understand, these are not projects which would be from the industry, but would be a simulation project that would have been there somewhere in the industry. When I talk about, maybe we can build an Uber like app, or we can build a e-commerce application. For a smaller kind of a web app application development program, we might be building a to-do list or a task list or a calendar application. So all of this actually going to give you that exposure, that understanding, and challenges your problem solving skills to make things, make projects, build coding applications of your own. This would actually have a very interesting implications once you hit the interview period, the career service period of your course. Because you have already built all of these projects in your hand, in your interview, you are going to only talk about these projects. And your GitHub, your profiles, your CVs will only going to talk about these projects. So whatever things that you probably lack with experience, relevant experience, or probably relevant degree, would be fulfilled or by compensated by these projects that would be there in your CV. So let's take an example that how actually a project can be integrated into our academic career. Well, we have a course on full stack development. Let's take that example. So the project would be a travelogue, where we are building a travel website for travelers, to take that website, get into that website, understand where to travel and all of this. Now, this particular travelogue has different components. First component is front end, second component would be a back end, a database, and so on. Now, what we did, we have created the curriculum in such a way, say in HTML, CSS, and JS. So we have taken the vanilla front-end component of the travelogue and created a project of HTML, CSS, JS out of it. Then we took up the backend API component, which would become a project for your Node module. Then we will add the databases, MongoDB databases to this. That also becomes an incremental project for your Node module. Now the question comes, what would happen to React? We actually convert the HTML, CSS, JS application which is written in vanilla JS, convert that into a React application, because a lot of our learners were not able to cope up with React. So even though they are not able to do React or understand React or work on React, they do have an application ready with them, created in vanilla JS and in Node.js. So at the end of the whole program, at the end of these 4 modules, 4 different projects, you have a complete project of travelogue that is happening. That is there in your GitHub, that is there in your CV, that is there in your muscle memory, which you can explain it in front of an interviewer. Now, travelogue is one of these examples. We can take any MERN application as per se. We have built projects around our doctor appointment app. We have built projects around very similar to Uber. We have built projects around e-commerce apps. We built project around where we're just calling some AI application here and there. So those are the different projects which would simulate the journey of a MERN application. To conclude the whole piece, all of our tech programs are equipped with different industry simulated projects. Now, these projects allow our learners to experience things, build these projects on their own, and acquire certain skills which is not possible if you go through a video or an academics course. Number one, they have the hands-on ability to build that particular course. Number two, they would have the necessary problem solving skills that is needed to work with these projects. Number three, they would have a real life experience of actually what happens in an industry level project. They would have a clarity on what are the different roles that exist to deploy a specific project. All these three skills, along with the confidence that he is going to get of building something of his own, would equip him to actually crack that next interview. And that is, as someone who has taken hundreds of interviews, this is exactly what I'm looking from a candidate, as someone who can hit the ground running immediately.